Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I want to do something I would call a ride-along Q&A, where I give you a chance to ask questions and I will answer them. If you don't have any questions, I've got plenty of answers. A lot of times, I don't open myself up to like Q&A, but if you pick a topic, I'll run with it, and we'll meet in the middle. So what is the topic I want to talk about lately? I think the topic I want to think about, if you guys don't come up with one, is choosing a brokerage. Right now I'm faced with a possibility of changing brokerages. I'm sure if a company, it's funny, and the reason why I'm thinking about this is because if my manager knew I was thinking about it, he'd be like, "Oh man, we got to keep him." If the CEO, the owner of the franchise heard about it, he'd be like, "Oh, good luck." And that's a strange place to be, like not be wanted. It's been 25 years with the company, and 1,000 transactions, right? But the problem with that is, the reason I see no love or affection from that side is that I don't make them much money, right? A lot of these companies, they profit from new agents, rookies, agents who don't know enough to know that 50-50 is not a good split. And so they join, they go out, and so that it's just a huge numbers game for these people. And when they finally, when the rookie realizes they're a shooting star, and they get a little bit, more knowledgeable in the ways of the world, they renegotiate their split or they leave. That's just a common, it's human nature want to do that. But for me as an individual, I think the most frustrating part about dealing with the company is that they still don't get like this internet thing that I'm doing. I make my position, I make my stance known. I make it known to everyone what my intentions are. My intentions are very well known. I expect to be the #1 real estate sales trainer and coach ever. Right? When Mike Ferry dies or retires, I intend to fill that hole. And right now I'm just continuing to prove and build the tribe and build the community, so that when these grassroots, the originals, the OGs of the Festini Mafia, I'll be bringing some of you guys along with me as far as coaching and training and just, that field. There's a lot of money to be made under the Festini Formula Incorporated or whatever, right? But the company itself doesn't really acknowledge what I'm doing, even though I've brought it to the attention of the head honcho. It's almost like, oh, what a cute little toy. And I could understand they probably get a lot of real estate agents who go into the business, pop off a couple deals, and then suddenly they want to be a trainer or a coach. So I'm sure they're used to seeing their agents go down the path of wanting to be a trainer or a speaker or want to take the stage. Egos are rampant in this business. So I understand, but when I left the company back in 2011, I let them know, hey, here's what I'm going to do. There was a moment where I said, you know what, I'm going to do this full time. I'm going to do coaching and training, life coach, motivational speaker. I even got business cards. I still have them. To just hit the circuit hard. And what he said was, hey man, you shouldn't niche it out just to real estate. You got potential to be, as big as Tony Robbins. You should. So he gave me words of encouragement. I'm like, thanks, man. And then in less than 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, you know what am I thinking? There's no money in coaching and training right now. It's just, the market wasn't great. Finding the clients, it just wasn't my time. And that's what a lot of real estate agents find out. when they get into the business and they begin, you know, getting this, it's like this bug, this itch, this curiosity, especially if you're a brand new agent and you do well. What inevitably is going to happen is if you do 2, 3, 4 sides, you know, real fast succession, you have a great quarter. Other agents in the office are going to say, hey, what is he doing? What are you doing? And 99 out of 100 agents, if somebody was approached, hey, what are you doing? And you're like, well, this is what I do. And then someone looks at you starry-eyed and goes, well, wow, that's amazing. I would love to. Oh my gosh, you're so wonderful, right? It's a big ego booster to get confirmed, you know, like, wow, I'm special. There's no better way to feel special than to have someone want your help and you give it to them and they appreciate it. And so, you know, like I said, 9 out of 10 agents will be like, wow, this is interesting. And so this little bug in the back of your ear goes, you know, I should teach people. And so instead of working in real estate and door knocking and cold calling and doing what got you to shooting star status, they transition into being a coach or trainer. It's easier than ever nowadays with YouTube. All you got to do is open up a YouTube channel. Hell, it's probably already there. And then say, you know, how to give for self-honors, how to do expireds, how to do, you know what I mean? And so they launch, and it's the craziest thing because I've seen so many real estate agents start like the vlog. That's the new thing. A YouTube channel on training and coaching, and I'll look at them. And the thing is that I know that they know what I'm doing. Jen Choi is the $100 Beast Mode Lead Gen Prospecting Challenge. It's $300 now. The difference is now you are in a group of people who get to hear the other side of the conversation. So as I'm telephone prospecting, I've implemented that. The reason it was $100 before, it was too goddamn cheap. It was too cheap. And so that is the deal. You get to hear the other side of the conversation. It's going to give you the scripts. There's going to be weekly webinars. I think this Friday it's going to launch because I've had 2 or 3 people sign up when it shifted to the 300. So anyhow, you know, people get this bug. I spit my gum out. They get this itch. They get this inkling to go out and start being a trainer, and then they lose the drive, the hunger. It creates this contamination. And you guys ever tried that? I'm surprised it's not #1 cola in the world. Anyhow, so you get this drive to go and train and coach, and then that fails, and then your real estate career fails, and then you go back on track, and then you just become an agent, you give it up. But the problem with that is that you lose your focus, you lose your drive. And so I think that's why the company treats me the way they do, because I think somehow they think I'm going to give up on this. Like I'm going to stop coaching and training and get back to what matters. Neil Schwartz, for example, Century 21, in the right-hand man to Mike Ferry. You guys probably know him, real estate agents that really work. I think he's on YouTube under that name. And then Jason Morris has that real estate agents that actually work in Facebook. Yeah, hope to see you there, Junji. Give me some pressure to step it up, man. I want to provide the value for sure. I do provide the value. Anyhow, what happens is the people they'll get their license, they'll have a couple of good months, and then someone asks them what are they doing, and then all of a sudden they get a little bit of encouragement to speak, and then they start training and coaching. I've seen it so many times where all of a sudden there's a memo that goes out in the company and says, hey, such and such is putting on a class on how to door knock. And I'm like, is that the new girl that just like joined what the hell's going on here? And all of a sudden the new girl goes from being a lecturer and then kind of confused and misguided. Suddenly they're the office coordinator, and then they're gone, right? The fastest way to ruin your real estate career, besides, searching for the solution on YouTube, once you find me, that's it. But the fastest way to do that is to allow your ego to get you off track of what it is that you joined the business for. You did not join the business to be an internationally known real estate speaker. You joined the business to make lots of money in real estate. And no matter how strong the temptation is to go get on the stage, there's nothing over here. There's no money in, there's maybe only 4 people on the planet who are making good money, like more money than you can make selling real estate, doing coaching and training. It's a whole other career path. So don't get confused with that. And anyhow, the reason I think that they don't do that, and the reason why I started this conversation about leaving companies or maybe changing from the Century 21 logo. Well, first of all, they changed the logo. That's not good. Not my hashtag not my logo. It's different. But the direction that I'm going with my training and coaching in particular, I've been taking it a lot more serious, starting to get more traction, more people are starting to listen. And yet, in my own country, I don't get what I deserve or what I'm looking to achieve. And I think that's you would think that by now the CEO and the second one down of Century 21 Award would say, hey, have you guys seen what James Festini's doing on YouTube and the podcast and the live stream and all? Have you guys watched that? Yeah. Dude, why don't we why don't we get him on stage, man? Why don't we we've got 18 offices. Why don't we just have him start fucking training these people? Why don't we have him just put him on the payroll? Forget all that. All this training. Fuck all this sponsoring. The other they spend a lot of money in training and developing new agents, but they're all grooming them to fail because they're just saying, "Here you go." The office manager's like, "Here's a Tom Ferry event's coming up, and I've got some Brainy CDs if you want to watch those." And as a real estate sales trainer and coach, is my side hustle to get you guys before you fuck up, to capture your attention before it's too late, because within a very short time the market's gonna change or you'll be out, one of those two. And you've got to stay with the fundamentals of knowing how to pick up the phone and talk, knowing how to pick up your feet and knock. And no one is teaching it as aggressively and as practical as I am right now, and it's frustrating because I have what it takes to bring it to you. I think that's why the Keller Williams model is being so successful also, because they're grooming real estate agents the right way, but they're also grooming real estate agents who have egos, like when they come in and they want to hustle and grind, that they all of a sudden James, I'm not saying this to recruit you, but you should honestly join Keller Williams or start your own brokerage. I've heard that before. I know it's starting to get to me, all these KWs trying to bring me in. I know you guys want me on your upline or downline or whatever. But no, I get it. It's and the craziest thing is that there is a Keller Williams. From my backyard, I could throw a baseball into a Keller Williams office. It's that close. But they're trying to lure me in under the disguise of... I got a call like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, 2 months, from someone who's like, "Hey, James, I know you're a top agent, We'd like you to come and have an opportunity to be a leader in training and coaching." I'm like, "Oh, you guys get it, right?" And then when I looked into it, that was his script for everybody. So when I called him back, I'm like, "Yeah, I thought they were calling me based on my YouTube and my Facebook and my side hustle. It was my moment, right? They're like, finally someone's going to put me on stage. How the hell can I go this far and not be invited to an office meeting, to a broker's meeting?" I mean, I get 0 invitations. Like all you guys who watch me, I got nobody who says, James, are you willing to come to San Jose and speak at our little, Western Regional Conference? How much do you charge? I don't get that. It doesn't make sense that heads of real estate companies don't look for a leader, someone who will take their brand new agents and make them successful. It's always like these turnkey solutions that are not, I don't know, I just don't feel like, I've seen them all. I've seen Tom Ferry's shit. I've seen Brian Buffini's shit. I've seen, Mike Ferry's shit. I've seen, was it Joe Stump? I've seen everybody's stuff, and they all talk about like the later, right? What should be happening in the future. They're not talking about like, I'm sitting here right now in my car at my home. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I've got my real estate license. Now what? Yeah, sign up with this, sign up with that. There's like the new real estate agents group. They're like, oh, no more GCI closing or whatever that shit is. It's like, it probably doesn't. I think it's just because there's nothing sexy about it. I mean, it's just literally like right there. You need to be more proactive about being on stage. Call the offices, offer to do free, remember small. Boss, I'm patient enough to wait for that to come to me. I have a feeling by the time that does happen, I mean, I'm going to continue selling real estate. But I know there will come a moment where what I'm doing will be too difficult to overlook. And NAR, Carr, C21, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, one of those will be like, we need to get you here. What's your price? Where like you as agents, I guess I would ask you guys, next time you're at your office meeting or a manager's meeting and there's like rah rah rah, that someone goes, has anybody heard of Festini? And hopefully a couple have. If they haven't, then I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm not going to push like you guys are saying, go prospect for speaking gigs. I'm doing speaking gigs every day, guys. I'm doing them right now. So that's the beauty about the internet. I don't need to drive to San Jose or fly to Texas to do this. I'm doing it right here. And so that's why I'll continue to deliver until, and I'll continue to create the tribe until the moment comes where you guys insist on like seeing them in person. Right? Anyhow, I'll be right back inside. Don't get too big before I start implementing your system. All right, Junji. Until I'm an open book. Junji Choi is trying to get in the mafia very fast. Let's do this thing. I'm going to go upstairs. We're going to go telephone prospect. I've got that listing appointment in 3.5 hours. So let's see how far we can get on the phones. I'll see you in a minute.